she comes in, and CJ's not the sit still kind of person. She said, let's go. I want to go see the Barbie movie. And I was like, oh, I'm grumbling about it. I don't want to go see this. I said, I'd rather go see Oppenheimer. A little while later, she goes, what's this Optimus Prime movie? And I was like, no, it's Oppenheimer. She's part of the public school system. And she's a product, I should say, public school system. So we go see the Barbie movie, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this thing. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to see a bunch of woke BS, all right? I know I'm going to see this kind of stuff. I was pleased with the movie. Aesthetically, it's fun to watch. If you're willing to let your gay side out a little bit, it'd be a little metrosexual, get in touch with your emotions. Honestly, the movie, I'm an emotional person. Y'all know this about me. I'm an emotional person. The older I get, the more emotional I get. The movie made me cry a couple times. CJ looked at me, she goes, are you crying? And I was like, shut up, bitch! And you don't know me, woman. But there's a couple of things, because I'm a father of 3 daughters, I'm watching this thing, and there's some sentimental BS in there. But let me say, first of all, Ryan Gosling, and this is going to make me sound real gay, that's a good actor. That dude's a good actor.
I mean, I think we're both comfortable enough with ourselves to be like, he's an objectively good actor.
He's a good actor.
He looked the part.
Yeah. To play that part, I mean, he's done a few different things. Like, I was disappointed when they cast him as the Gray Man, which is based off of Mark Greeny's books that I love. I thought they could have recast that, but that's sort of like making Tom Cruise Jack Reacher. I didn't like that casting. But he pulled it off. What was the movie about the swans and crap that he did with the girl with the great butt way back? The Notebook. I knew you when I said great butt. Can't think of her name. She does have a great butt, but I don't objectify women. But this movie. It's a weird movie, man. It's very metaphysical. It's very existential. And actually, the movie's about having an existential crisis. It's about identity issues. It's about trying to figure out who you are. There's some deep meaning there. It's a very, very new agey, spiritual movie, which sounds funny to say. Let me go ahead and say it's not for children. The fact that there were people it was a 10 o'clock showing. And the fact that people had 3 and 4-year-olds in there, one, bad decision across the board as a parent. But this is not a movie for kids. Very adult humor, very deep subject matter. But it's everything. The woke BS is in there. But ultimately, the message that I took away from it wasn't okay. Because I don't want to give away spoilers, so I'm trying to tiptoe around this. Because I know y'all are all waiting with your tickets in hand to go see the Barbie movie. And God bless Margot Robbie. God bless God for making Margot Robbie. What a beautiful woman. And a fine actor herself, I guess. She may have acted. I don't know. She's just there. And that was enough for me. But, they're in Barbie land and it's ruled by women, right? And they have this idea, the Barbies have this idea that they made the real world perfect for women too. Well, then they go to the real world and they discover that it's run by, according to the movie, run by men. And Ken, well, he loves this idea. Like as Rob Smith made a video about this, he said if you took a shot every time they used the word patriarchy in this movie, you'd be hammered drunk. They'd have to pump your stomach. And he's right, because they keep talking about the patriarchy. But he goes and he's like, so Ken brings this idea back to Barbie land about how men need to be in control. Which, quite honestly, being the chauvinist that I am, I loved Barbie Land when it was run by the guys. I thought it was a great concept. But anyway, and then it's this whole, crisis of identity thing of what's right, and you just have to see the movie. But put your thinking cap on, because I could literally sit there and unpack every single scene for the deeper meaning. So I have to say, whether you agree with the full message of the movie or not, by and large, I thought the message of the movie was okay. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Now, it did make all the men be bumbling idiots. even in the real world, the ones that rule the world in the patriarchy world, they were still bumbling, brainless idiots. I don't like that messaging, of course. But again, discovering yourself and who you are. One thing the movie did that I thought was very good was it said it's okay to be a mom and to just be a mom. And that's your role, is to just be a mom. That's one movie that I can honestly say I've never heard anybody else ever say that it's just okay to be a mom as a woman. So good for them on doing that. A lot of other woke messages, a lot of spiritual new agey crap in there, but you can weed through that stuff. But check it out, okay? Check it out and see what's up. But I got to go see Oppenheimer. You were telling, who was saying, Joe, you were saying they're going to see Oppenheimer? Who was saying that? You going to go see Barbie and Oppenheimer? It's a good idea. I think it's a good plan.
I believe they're calling it Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
Yes.
And everybody's dressing up to go see this Barbie thing.
Hey, I think ladies just like an excuse to wear pink.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I saw some pretty interesting characters going into the theater last night because after Hyenas, we went down to the sushi restaurant, which was right next to the theater, and there were some dudes coming in with like pink sweaters wrapped around their shoulders and stuff. And, okay. Okay. Like, I didn't know we were supposed to do all that. I didn't do all that, but...
You didn't put on your finest pink attire?
No, I didn't.
No.
But I'll tell you, what I like about a movie, when a movie will spark conversation, I like that. I think that's the point. I think that's what you should do. Mindless stuff that doesn't spark some conversation later on. Again, compare that to say, okay, what we talked about in the first segment with the Jason Aldean video. Like, I should be able to look at somebody's interpretation of the world they live in without being offended by it, right? So if I was just going to worry about the woke crap that's in a movie, I would never see another movie. If I had to analyze every actor that's in every movie and their personal lifestyle, I would just never see a movie. Now, I know that you guys are saying, well, forget Hollywood, and that's fine. I mean, that's your personal choice. Now, me personally, I tend to like to be culturally abreast of things so I know half of what I'm talking about. And so I expose myself to a lot of stuff out there. And again, I wasn't overly enthralled with the idea of going to see the Barbie movie, but I've got a very beautiful girlfriend who's very coercive. She's mean, and I'm living under duress. But if you see me blink twice with both eyes, come get me. And like, probably like if I needed to put a note out there that said I'd been kidnapped by the cartels, but I couldn't mention that I'd been kidnapped by the cartels, like if I wrote, I'm at the Barbie movie, you probably would know that I'm in some kind of danger in somebody's trunk.
We can use that as like our safe word going forward. Yeah. If you ever hear that phrase, it's trouble.
Yeah, there's trouble somewhere. But, again, I was able to go watch that, even with the woke nonsense that's in it, I didn't cry over it. I didn't feel the need to go out. I could still find the good in it, right? And whatever. But again, you can't do that anymore. Both progressive left and people on the right, that's one of the things that troubles me the most culturally, is that we have to politicize every damn thing. Like, everything's got to be that way. It's like, can we just chill a little bit? And again, I don't think the kids need to be exposed to gratuitous things. That's a line we have to draw. We've consistently drawn that line through this program on where we stand on that. But at the end of the day, as an adult, you should be able to just go out, enjoy a film, read a book, see something, hear something you maybe disagree with, let it spark a conversation, have some dialogue, and, do, what I say this country was founded on, and that is debate, discuss, disagree, dialogue, and then be able to come together on it. I mean, let's reason together on these things. And I know you guys are laughing at me because you're thinking, I can't believe you're getting this deep with something called a Barbie movie. But it's a reasonably deep philosophical movie. Kayla, wouldn't you agree? I mean, so I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Will I go see it again? No. But I tend to not go see movies again. I mean, I'll tell you this. I enjoyed it more than Indiana Jones.
Well, yeah, Indiana Jones was garbage.
It was trash.
At least Barbie was hot. If it was real woke garbage, she would have been a fat, like, lesbian school teacher or something.
Now, I will say, as a disclaimer, that they give this great speech about, America Ferrera. She plays a character. She plays a real-world mom. She gives this speech about what women go through. It's sort of bullshit, but it's sort of true. It's a mix. And no, it's a mix, Kayla. She gives this speech, which I'm like, okay, but you could give the same speech about men. I mean, you just change some of the verbiage. It's talking about the catharsis of women go through this, but they can't, like you can be pretty, but you can't be too pretty. You can be skinny, but you can't be too skinny, and all this kind of stuff. Well, you could say the same things about men. You know, you could be aggressive, but you can't be too aggressive. You can be successful, but you can't be too successful. You know, you can climb to the top, but don't step on anybody else. You know, men live in a crisis too. So that's humanity. I mean, that's just the nature of life. But she gives this speech about how wonderful womanhood is, and I'm like, okay, I see the point. But when you got a dude who's playing one of the Barbies, it kind of makes it fall on deaf ears. Because you talk about the greatness of women, but then you got a trans person playing one of the Barbies in the movie. So, I mean, what she should have said is, and women don't have a penis. That would have been perfect in the speech.